From morning.
Great to wake up to in the morning.
To evening.
Working late at the office.
It's your number one.
Big O Country, WHS Shelby, WLON Lincoln, WCSL Cherryville Gastonia.
Lincoln Animal Hospital, PA, reminds pet owners diligent pet care is a must. For the safety and well-being of all pets, never leave them unattended in a car, and never leave them home without proper food and water. This message from Lincoln Animal Hospital, PA, at 2109 East Main Street in Lincoln, where they provide the highest quality vet care for all pets to live longer, happier, and healthier lives. For more information, please call 704-732-0728. That's 704-732-0728. For Lincoln Animal Hospital, PA, on the air because they care.
Summertime fun can be ruined with a bad sunburn. Be prepared with a visit to Allen Drug Store in downtown Stanley, right below the woodshed. They have all the suntan protection products that you need. And be sure to ask about the free vitamin plan for children for Allen Drug Store. And for you Sundrop fans, Allen Drug Store in Stanley has 12-pack cans of Sundrop products for only $3.99. Buy 2 12-packs for $7 or get 3 12-packs for just $10 at Allen Drug Store, Main Street in Stanley, located right next to the woodshed.
Community minded, just like you. Community minded, that's for sure it's true.
You care about the future of this community. You grew up here. You've raised a family here. Your life is here. So is ours.
Carolina Trust Bank. Member FDIC.
Community minded, just like you.
Here's a special money-saving message from Putnam Distributors in Patterson Springs. If you use petroleum products, you should consider a generic brand. Major brands charge premium rates covering national advertising and promotions. Good generic brand packages their own products and meets manufacturer specifications, and they can sell at a lower price because of lower overhead. Our generic brands include Wolfhead, Coastal, AutoGuard, and Lubrigard. Buy these brands and you cut your costs. See Putnam Distributors, 1626 Peterson Drive, Patterson Springs. Since 1958, folks in this area have been going back again and again for their transportation needs at Abernathy Chevrolet in Lincoln. Why? There's this thing called the Abernathy Advantage, or should we say Advantages. Like the largest new and used inventory in the area, free car washes after your purchase, their owner loyalty program, and competitive finance and leasing terms. Right now, the 2013 year-end closeout sale is underway. Get the Advantage today at Abernathy Chevrolet, 1445 East Main Street, exit 24, Highway 321 in Lincoln.
The going out of business sale continues at Duran's Jewel Shop in downtown Gastonia. Right now, all watch and jewelry repair material on sale at great discount prices. All 14-karat gold chains are 50 and 60% off. Estate jewelry at fabulous prices. Duran's Jewel Shop has a 4-karat gold Boulevard quartz watch set and half-karat clear diamonds, regular $1,600, now just $600, during the going out of business sale at Duran's Jewel Shop, 158 South Street in downtown Gastonia.
It's the refrigerator of steel, stainless steel that is, from Hendrick Appliance in Shelby, Gastonia, and Lincoln. Come in now and see the new stainless steel kitchen appliances at Hendrick Appliance, including an over-the-range microwave oven, an electric range, a dishwasher, and a big 26 cubic foot side-by-side refrigerator. And now save $500 with 12-month special financing that's now available. Visit your nearest Hendrick Appliance, 1241 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, 4027 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia, and in the Carolina Shopping Center in Boger City. Right now, during the Yamaha Perfect Choice Sales Event at Full Throttle Power Sports in Gastonia, it's the perfect time to get great low financing on all new Yamaha Wave Runners. From the race-ready FZR that reaches 30 miles per hour in under 2 seconds to the full-featured, comfortable and roomy FX Cruiser Show, the perfect Wave Runner is waiting for you. Hurry to Full Throttle Power Sports in Gastonia for a great low financing and choose your perfect Wave Runner. But don't wait, these offers end soon. Full Throttle Power Sports, exit 22 off I-85, Gastonia.
Come on, smile. Oh, honey, he's still not smiling.
Maybe he's not a smiler.
Yeah, maybe he's just not a happy baby.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Or maybe he's teething.
Maybe it's just a phase.
Maybe he has autism, and we can definitely do something to help.
Maybe is all you need to find out more about autism. No big, joyful smiles by 6 months is one early sign. Learn the others at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
We said this summer we'd go down to Cancun, but no money makes that kind of hard to do. Forget the beach, I'd rather be here with you, playing croquet. Okay, maybe that's not true, but you make it easy, easy, easy to get away. Sit in the sun and drink beer all day, because it's easy, easy, easier anyway. Who needs Mexico? Baby, let's stay home. We'll put on bug spray and we'll lose our clothes. Put out the lawn chairs and turn on the hose. We'll play Jack Johnson, he's the new Don Ho. Or we'll go surfing, surfing, we'll surf the radio. 'Cause you make it easy, easy, easy to get away. Sit in the sun and drink beer all day. You know it's easy, easy, easier anyway. Who needs Mexico? Oh hey, who needs Mexico? Baby, let's stay home. Drink margaritas and take in the sunset. Later on we'll slip up to our king-size bed and make love, laugh, sweet laugh. You make it easy, easy. Oh yes, it's easy, easy. You make it easy, easy, easy to get away. Sit in the sun and sip tequila all day, because it's easy, easy, easier anyway. Who needs Mexico? Tell me now, who needs Mexico? Baby, let's stay home. Baby, let's stay home. Let's get away, baby. Oh, let's get away, baby.
The Baubles clearance sale is underway at the Bargain Station Outlet in Shelby. Now, for a limited time, you can get baubles for only $5, and bauble insets are just $3. And all baubles are FDA approved. And for that last quick summer getaway, remember the Bargain Station Outlet in Shelby for luggage, bags, and outdoor equipment. The Bargain Station Outlet, located at 4400 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right next to Honda Motorcycles. Open Tuesday through Friday, 9:30 to 6, Saturdays, 9 a.m. till 2 p.m.
Cherryville, North Carolina, folks. If you sounds a little different to you today, I'm Kevin Hastings, and I'm here with along with Terry Reinhardt today, and subbing in for Sam Davis. Sam Davis a little under the weather today. Has spent some time in the hospital this week. I don't know anything other specific than that, so don't even call us and ask us because I don't know, Terry. But other than that, hope Sam gets well. He should be back next week. Folks, look forward to Sam coming back next week. So that's that. And Terry Reinhardt, welcome to the show. Welcome me to the show, I guess, as well.
That's it. And as far as Sam, Sam, we hope you get better. Looking forward for you to be back next week. Hope the doctors let you go. You know how that goes when you get in a hospital sometimes. Sometimes they need money.
Well, they can't charge you if you ain't there, Terry.
That's right.
That's rule number one with the doctors. They can't make money if you ain't there. But welcome to tonight's show, everyone. Getting started. Got some big football games coming up tonight. A lot of teams on bye weeks this week, Terry. All of Lincoln County and the Southern District 7, except for Maiden, right? Are Maiden the only team in the SD7 playing tonight?
Maiden is the only team in the SD7 that is taking action tonight as they make their way up to West Caldwell. Bunker Hill 4-0, West Lincoln 4-0, East Lincoln 3-1, Lincoln in 2-2, Bandy's 2-2, Newton Conover 1-3, and West Caldwell 1-3. All have the night off.
And Terry Reinhardt, folks, supposed to know anything and everything about Lincoln County. And Terry, with all those teams taking a night off except for Maiden, someplace tonight is a huge party, and you got to find out where it's at because we're going to go to it here in a little bit.
Maybe they'll have some food.
Somebody's having a big party. I'm telling you, set 16, the whole conference is off. They're having a big party somewhere. Maiden wasn't invited. I don't know what they did to make the rest of them mad, but they had to play a game this week. Big schedule on the broadcast tonight. We have five games. If you picked up your WhatsApp shopper this week, the Maiden South Caldwell game, folks, we want to let you know right now, will not be on the radio station tonight. They had 3 other radio stations covering that game. Not enough room in the press box, so we said go ahead. So we gave David Keever and Rick Misham the nights off. And we're going to have East Gaston at Cherryville. Should be quite a pretty good game. I think it might be a pretty good game. East Gaston, the favorite in that, of course, but it's at Cherryville. Cherryville looking for the first win of the season. Terry thought they looked good early on in the season.
Well, I absolutely, and I still go back to scrimmage. When I saw them in scrimmage, I thought they was going to be a very tough 1A team, to compete against. But when you go out on the road and you get pretty much, and I hate to say it like this, but get hammered in some of your games, maybe you lose some focus from some of your kids,
right.
And I don't get me wrong, I know how Cherryville is. It's about basketball over there and baseball, and I understand that. And they try to get athletes out to come out and play in the football, and a lot of athletes do not come out to play there.
There's a lot. You got 18, 20 kids on the baseball team, and not a single one of them's playing quarterback on that Cherryville football team. Somebody can throw a football somewhere who's hitting batting practice right now in the back of a building, in the backyard, somewhere he's hitting baseballs and not tossing the football. Cherryville, with the baseball history they've had, I've always thought should be a quarterback heaven and sling the ball around here. I mean, back in the early 90s, or late 90s, Kent Bowen started, and Ralph Roberts back-to-back. Had 2 kids that could throw the ball really well, but since then, nobody that really, they just don't throw it. They could, and they got all these baseball players, Terry.
And I keep looking at them, and Cherryville, I think, is a team that's out here now, and they can't wait till the season starts.
Conference starts. Conference.
And you was mentioning
look at the rest of the conference: 0-4, 0-3, 0-3, 1-3, 1-3. Thomas Jefferson, Tom Cinefani's favorite team in the area, are 2-1, the only team in the conference with a winning record outside of the conferences. And the way 1A is spaced out, it's kind of hard to get equal competition within driving distance.
It is, and tonight Thomas Jefferson plays Asheville School, which is another team that's 0-2.
Okay, so not Asheville.
No.
one of these other private
I would not
schools
want to see that final in that game.
I didn't think Asheville would want to play Thomas Jefferson either, but or Thomas Jefferson want to play them. But you never know. Q Foundation schedules Crest and Shelby and Burns and South Point and everyone else. So I mean, it's about who you play. You're talking about Cherryville, going into that. Not knowing or feeling down about yourselves. I know when I played at Bestman my senior year, we had 10 games. Looking at the schedule, we knew that we could compete in 3 of them. I mean, it's every week going into practice, you're not going to practice as hard. You're not going to play as hard. Knowing you're going up against Shelby, knowing Shelby or whoever you're playing against is going to drop 60 on you. It's tough to get up for that, and it really is to keep players on the teams too. But you're right, Terry.
It is. I mean, these 2 teams go back to the last time they played was 2004. East Gaston leads the All-Time Series 5-3. and Cherville sitting back and they saw East Gaston go down to Lincoln in last week and played Lincoln and pretty stout the whole first half, and Lincoln had pulled away in the second. Well, I mean, a lot of turnovers out here from that game, but Lincoln had pulled away in the second half. So East Gaston's coming up here hoping they get their season turned around.
It would be their first win, right? They are 0 for the.
They're 0-3 too.
So East Gaston and Cherville both looking for a win tonight. You can listen to that game, folks, tonight on WCSL 1590 AM, WCSL1590am.com, and, of course, on KTCBroadcasting.com. You can go to the super page, the live online page, and watch all the games, listen to all the games, Terry, all 5 of our games that we have. And we want to talk about the rest of those coming up real quick. We're going to go to real quick rundown of what we have, what we don't have, and then we're going to take a quick break, get organized, and we'll be right back here in a few minutes, Terry. But go ahead real quick.
I want to touch on one you mentioned earlier, Maiden making that trip over to South Caldwell. They lost Zach Pollard, South Caldwell did, and a few games back he's done for the year. Well, they picked up another good running back, Gavin Reed, and he is coming in, and he's rushed for about 400-some yards.
Shoot.
But I'm hearing that he is questionable for tonight's game, so they could be down 2 running backs.
Good grief.
For this year.
That's tough to overcome. All right, tonight on the broadcast tonight we have Chase at Shelby, the big matchup there on WOHS 1390 AM and on KTC Broadcast. You can watch that game. The other 2 games you can watch tonight on our family of networks is the Highland Tech at Bessemer City game. Should be a very competitive game, if not the most competitive game on our schedule tonight. Kings Mountain at Burns is our other broadcast game. Big night in Cleveland County, folks. Kings Mountain looking to make a name for themselves, and Burns looking to make sure they lay the smack down like they did on Chase last week, looking to do the same. Kings Mountain tonight, and then Crest at TC Roberson tonight. TC Roberson will not allow video of their broadcast, so you Crest fans have a couple multiple outlets you can listen. You can listen on ktcbroadcasting.com. Other teams in our area not playing tonight and are playing tonight. Vance is at Hunter Huss, and South Point is at AC Reynolds tonight. North Gaston, Forest View, Ashbrook, East Lincoln, North Lincoln, West Lincoln, and Lincoln, and 7 of our 17 teams in our area tonight, Terry, are off for the night, like we said earlier, and then we got a couple. We only have 8 games on our big board tonight. Usually we got about 15 to 20 up there. So it's going to be a slow night as far as how many games, but coming up, it's going to be a fun night on our broadcast. So we're going to be right back in a minute with Terry Reinhardt, and he's going to talk a little NC State football. You can see him with the shirt on, and I'm Kevin Hastings, and I'm going to pick on him about NC State football. So we'll be right back on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Since 1986, Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby has been serving families across Shelby and Cleveland County. And today, Wayne Witherspoon continues the tradition of bringing you the best insurance at the best possible price with names like the Hartford, Safeco, Progressive, National General Insurance, and Travelers. Drop by their office at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby and talk with one of their friendly hometown agents. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, your independent insurance agency since 1986.
Hi, this is Woody Durham for Mark Dedman's Carolina Trophies in Shelby. Through the years, I've seen a lot of trophies and plaques, and none appear nicer than those which come from Mark Dedman's Carolina Trophies. Their guarantee is not just a guarantee, but a promise for courteous service, the absolute lowest price, quality products, on-time delivery, and most of all, your satisfaction. Awards for all occasions plus rubber stamps and engraving. That's Mark Dedman's Carolina Trophies in Shelby.
Come to Kibo's this summer for some refreshing ice cream. Kibo's has it packaged or hand-dipped in a cup or cone. There's also delicious Hunt Brothers Pizza and hot wings. Of course, you'll find Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and Sundrop soft drinks, candy, cakes, milk, bread, charcoal, soup, tobacco products, oil, and don't forget to fill that vehicle up with gas. Kibo's, Highway 226 North at Zion Church Road in Shelby.
Packing that lunch for school? Then head to the Ora Supermarket and Broad River Hams for some great back-to-school lunch packing good deals. Broad River Country Ham, $5.99 a pack. Hormel lunch meat, $3.99 a pound. All meat bologna, $3.99 a pound. Boiled ham, $4.99 a pound. And sliced American cheese, $5.99 a pound. And don't forget the Pick 5. Pick 5 bags of frozen food for only $19.99. Ora Supermarket and Broad River Hams, 1026 East Marion Street in Shelby. They're the steak place.
There's never been a better time to switch to Nationwide and save. For auto, home, life, or business insurance, call Heather, Gary, Mark, or Gaylord at the Gaylord Brawley Nationwide Insurance Agency in Shelby. You can trust Nationwide, serving North Carolina customers since 1928 and number one for 20 straight years. The Gaylord Brawley Nationwide Insurance Agency, 1235 Falston Road in Shelby. Call 704-484-2680.
And welcome back to the studios here at KTCBroadcasting.com. I'm Kevin Hastings, along with Terry Reinhardt. And, folks, we're taking phone calls, questions, comments. You want to talk some smack about the upcoming games tonight. I want to talk about where you're going, what you hope to see, who you think is going to win tonight. Tell us your winners. Pretty much anything you want to tell me and Terry, right?
Anything you want to talk about, man, we'll try to give you an answer. Now, it might not be the right answer, but we're going to give you our opinion of an answer. In Cleveland County, call 704-482-1390. Gaston County, 704-435-3297. And Lincoln County, 704-735-8071. And let's see if we can get somebody that's out there on their way to Chase against Shelby. Need your opinion tonight. Will it be broken, or will the series continue as Shelby tries to go to 47-0-1 on the year against Chase?
You know, they're 0-46, right?
They're 46-0-1 right now. The only tie was way back in 1968, a 28-all tie.
Right. Now they've come very close past two or three times the past 10 years, if I can remember. They've had a chance. And just, late in the game they couldn't do it and everything. And then, of course, the coach talking a little smack last week, talking about the Burns and the linebackers. Of course, he painted on the wall up at the school. Cleveland County champions. 4-0. Well, Coach Boone this week, so they're going to have to go 3-1 in Cleveland County because Burns laid the smackdown on them this week. You saw this week's What's Up Shopper cover this week. The Burns Bulldogs on the cover after beating Chase last week. Was a 48-9. Is that right, Terry?
It was 48-9.
So a big game last week from the Bulldogs. And real quick, while we're talking about the What's Up Shopper, check out each week Calvin Hastings' local sports roundup and Andre Bush's picks of the week. Andre, writer and editor here. He's a sideline reporter and takes pictures at our games. Does a little bit of everything for us. Anything that I can't do, he does for us. Real quick, Terry, I'm going to go down this What's Up Shopper power poll. Number one, and folks, this is not a opinion poll. This is not what I think, what Terry thinks, what anyone else thinks. This is just flat out numbers. We got records and we have points differential. So South Point at number one right now, 4-0. Burns at number 2, 4-0. North Gaston, number 3, 4-0. And West Lincoln Rebels, Terry, number 4, 4-0.
Very impressive this year.
If they could have beat Cherville by 11 more points, they would have been number 3 in the poll. Because it was such a close game.
I'm going to be honest with you. As a West Lincoln person, just leave us down there.
Leave you at 4 right now.
Let us keep making
the
move up.
One year, y'all went 8-0 or 9-0?
7-0.
7-0.
Sure
and you were number 1 in the poll. I think South Point got beat by Burns or Chris or somebody that year, and y'all were number 1 for a week, at least on the 7-0. Number 5, Forest View Jaguars. And number 6, the East Lincoln Mustangs have dropped since getting beat by the Forest View Jaguars. Dropped in our power poll and also dropped in the state poll, Terry. You don't know where they dropped. We were trying to find this week's poll, but can't find it nowhere online. AP website and other publications can't find the poll. The Gazette says blank, so that didn't help us out any at all. Philip, if you're watching and listening, you might want to check on that. You guys got the blank poll sticking out there. Finish up the power poll, though. The Crest Chargers 7, Shelby Golden Lions 8, Ashbrook Green Wave 9, and Kings Mountain Mountaineers 10, coming in at 2-2. All those teams 2-2. On the outside looking in, the Bessemer City Yellow Jackets, Cherryville Ironmen, Lincoln Wolves, North Lincoln Knights, West Lincoln Rebels, Highland Tech, Rams, and East Gaston Warriors. Of course, all those teams are located in Gaston, Cleveland, and Lincoln County only, folks. This isn't a state poll, conference poll. This is the teams that we cover and the teams in our area. So we've got 17 high school teams there, and it gives a little different type of poll than you would with the state and the conference. Terry, looking forward to tonight's games. What's your favorite, or what you think is going to be the most exciting to watch or listen to on the What's Up Shopper and KTC Broadcasting lineup tonight?
Well, me, I always like streaks.
So
and when I think of Chase and Shelby, that's
well,
what I'm going to look for.
Speaking of streak, Shelby Bowden at South Points last week, so I'm not feeling too good about Chase's chances. Even though the coach and the fans will feel good, they got to be a little worried this week. It may be a close game, Terry, but with getting beat the way they did by Burns last week, if they go down quick early, Shelby might really put it on them like Burns did too. Chase might give up.
I promise you, R.J. George will probably get that done.
R.J. George, quarterback for the Shelby Going Lions, been pretty nasty this year. Kind of unexpected that they didn't know what they had replacing Spencer Clark. Spencer Clark, a big boy on the basketball court and on the football field. One of the biggest quarterbacks I've seen. He can sling it. But R.J. George has done a great job for the Shelby Going Lions pass offense, and you're not used to saying that, are you?
No. And, when Ware come, that's the first thing he did, and a lot of people did not like it. They went away from what all the other coaches had taught at Shelby, and he was all for the passing game, and I think it's all coming out to his advantage now. Yeah, every year they start, it takes them like 2 or 3 games into the year to get it started, but since R.J. George has come along at Shelby, the whole system's running pretty smooth. Other games on the system to pay attention to tonight, South Point goes to A.C. Reynolds. A.C. Reynolds' leading rusher will not be playing tonight. He has been suspended for 4 games. So that will help South Point tremendous as they go up there.
I don't think South Point's going to have a problem tonight at all. It's just a road trip for them. I think they're going to have a good time, come on back home, and play who they got next week.
Yeah, and then we've got another one, Crest. After Barnes suspended some of his starters last week for violations, them guys are back tonight to put back on their uniforms to go against T.C. Roberson. So, another good game that should be tonight. And anytime you get Cleveland County teams together, Kings Mountain Burns, I'm like anybody else. You throw out records, that does not mean anything when they play tonight.
No, it does not. Kings Mountain, they're probably tired of being the little brother to the other 3 teams, but Burns looking to continue that SMAC success, looking for their 4th consecutive conference title, and just another Cleveland County team is another stepping stone for them. So I mean, they've got a tough road, but I think Burns will do it, and I think they'll handle Kings Mountain tonight.
Well, I know in that game right there last week, Burns come up and he was going against Chase and all the coaches, Bailey, the talking, and I'm the first one. If I'm a coach, I'm putting that up on my wall too. I'm going to let every one of my guys in. When my defense is the best that I think they are and the way they play it, I mean, they held Chase less than 50-some yards for the first 3 quarters.
They only had 23 yards until the running back broke one.
For 53 yards.
So they had one first down, and that first down, Terry, Burns gave it to him on a jumping off side. So Chase didn't get a first down until the starters were out of the game, if that tells you anything about that Bulldogs defense.
They did, and right off the bat, a defensive touchdown.
Right.
To get them started.
Byers, folks, I'm telling you, if you haven't seen the Bulldogs, if you don't even question about going to see the Bulldogs, you want to see Sedarius Byers play. That is a big human being, and he just, if you see the replay, go to youtube.com/whatsupshopperterry, and you can see the replay. Also, Burns Bulldogs Twitter feed, it's at Burns Bulldogs. They posted on there too. You can see Sedarius Byers carry 5, 6, 7 people by 5 yards. And talking to Coach Beam this week, told me a quick little funny story. Andre Bush here told him that he needed to give Sedarius the ball, and Matt Beam said, "Oh, well, that's funny that you said that. Sedarius asked for it on Monday at practice, and so they gave it to him. Terry, you know he did. He fumbled.
There you go. And you speak of Coach Beam, and I give him a lot of credit after he made that move to come up there. It wasn't not long ago that Burns went 1-10.
Right.
And then Coach Beam's come along, and they've won 38 out of their last 46 games.
They've totally changed the outlook up there for the Bulldogs, and they love him up there and love him and his dad and the whole coaching staff to do a great job with the boys.
Oh, yes.
And that defense, folks, Sedarius Byers, like I said, carried 5 or 6 people in the end zone, but Coach Beam tried to give him the football, and he fumbled the first play, and he tried to make the excuse and said he thought it was a pass play, but he knew it was coming to him, but fumbled the ball. The big man fumbled the ball, so he might sneak back here. They get up big time against somebody. We might see him at some point this year. We did see, as last year, they had a jumbo set that was just nasty, and with Petty and all these other guys. Petty, of course, playing at Ball State now. They gave Petty a couple of end zone carries, and it was like watching the fridge, in high school football. Just plow through the line. It's pretty impressive, pretty fun to watch. But yeah, Burns Kings Mountain be a great game tonight. And like we said, folks, you can watch that on ktcbroadcasting.com. You can also watch Highland Tech at Bessemer City, and you can watch Chase try to end that streak Terry's talking about. And here at Shelby, if you're watching online, folks, you can see that Terry's got his NC State duds on. I didn't think he'd wear them out tonight after that beating the other night. They hung on pretty good though last night, didn't they?
Well, my deal in behind it, we had a touchdown call back that would have gave us a 14-13 lead. Right. You know, so I mean that one was, and then there's a timeout called that I could see it. I know the guy called timeout because your receiver just quit running, and State picks it and they go in. You know, I think they need to do something about timeouts. I think no timeout should be called right when the ball's getting ready to be snapped.
Right.
I mean, they need to be. Yeah, they need to be something. If you're going to call it,
no coaches.
Yeah,
up until 5 seconds.
That's irritating me, and that's my opinion. You know, but I know a coach has said over there and wait till the last second, right before it gets ready to happen. Then he wants to call a timeout.
Right.
Sometimes does that help you? Sometimes it might not. You know, I mean, your kicker might get out there and kick a winning field goal, and you had called timeout, or the other team called timeout. Then the very next one, then he misses it.
I would have to say it has to help. I play golf a lot. As a golfer, if I had a practice shot, Terry, I'd be a lot better than what I am. You know, it has to help. You get to feel the ground, the shot, the distance. I mean, there's so many variables into getting that extra practice shot on that field. I'd think it'd have to help more than it would if he gets does get off the practice shot.
Yeah.
So,
but anyway, on state game,
cheap move to do. It's kind of a cheap move to do to begin with, as a coaching standpoint. If you can't beat them anyway, you're going to beat them with your timeouts.
And I was okay. I mean, we only got beat 26-14. But
hopefully
that was last night in college.
Hopefully, Clemson can go on and continue the ACC.
Well, we've got to pull for them.
Right.
I mean, I hate to say that. If you're an ACC fan, you've got to pull for them because that's our shot right now. Them or Florida State.
Yep.
You've got to take one of them.
Look at. So,
yes.
They're not going to talk about Carolina and NC State and all these other ones right now. They're going to talk about the top couple teams. Can they beat Alabama and the rest of them? And of course, and the answer has been forever no, but we'll see. It'd be nice to see Clemson back on top and the ACC back on top.
I want to mention one game that you was talking about, and I had a young man just now walk in. He says, "Hey, man, Highland Tech, Bessemer City." Here's my opinion. Highland Tech, stay at home. Bessemer City going to beat y'all by 30.
Terry thinks it's that bad,
man,
guys.
I'm sorry.
You guys against him.
If somebody's from down there, call me. That's just what I think.
Hey, I told Terry it'd be the best game of the night. So if Highland Tech folks call me and thank me, I'm with you guys. I think I'm a Bessemer City grad, but I think you guys can compete. And Terry doesn't think you'll have a chance. So,
but don't forget the pregame before the game ever started. The list of 1,000-yard rushers, and Phil Gardner. I appreciate this. He gave us a list of them. Byron Sanders. Any of these guys played when you were there?
I played with two of them. I played with Jermaine Gamble and Deontay Davis. Deontay was a freshman when I was there. After I left, he took over as the quarterback. And did a pretty good job running the option. Bessemer runs the option there. He's a pretty good job at doing that. And Jermaine Gamble, really, really small kid, but he's one of the toughest runners I've ever played with, Terry. I mean, if he got to the hole, he was going to fall forward when he got hit. So I loved, Jermaine. He would hit the hole hard and really fun to play with. He actually didn't start off at running back to start the year off. He started a little wide receiver, but a couple injuries here and there. Next thing we know, we put him in the backfield, and he just turned out to be great. He ended up leading those two together. I mean, those were same teams. Like I said, they were freshmen and sophomores when I was seniors. So those 1,000-yard rushers, I mean, they did that on the same team together. So pretty impressive from those two.
But to mention them all, Byron Sanders, Chucky Steele, Dale Reed, Dorete Davis,
Deontay. That's what Davis. That's who I was just saying about.
Eric Nichols, Harry Floyd, Jermaine Gamble, Jermaine Hoyle, Jerry Parthlow.
Is that the same Eric Nichols that was our coach? That is impressive, Coach. I like me some Eric Nichols.
Jalen Adams, Philip Crosby, Shane Whitlock, and Torrey Partlow. Man, y'all got some different names.
Terrell Partlow. You mean read those? I know half of them. You mean read those?
When you get to these passers now, I know them passers. Them passers are okay.
Real quick, we're going to take a break in a sec, but I'm going to read this for you Bessemer City folks listening tonight. Calvin Albright, you're listening. I'm going to fix Terry
I'm telling you, man, this Bessemer City people.
All right, here we go. It's Byron Sanders, Chucky Steele, Dale Reed, Deontay Davis, Eric Nichols. He was my one of the defensive coordinators when I was there.
All right.
Harry Floyd, Jermaine Gamble, Jerome Hoare, Jerry Partlow, Jalen Adams, Philip Crosby. You know Philip Crosby, don't you?
Oh, yes.
He played fullback, running back for Tennessee, and also went on to play for the Buffalo Bills and a couple of other teams. His jersey is retired up there on the up on the press box, along with Norris McCleary, played in the NFL too. Shane Whitlock and Terrell Partlow. That Partlow was right before I got there. 1,000-yard passers: Billy James, Bobby Mantooth, Eric Sanders, and Xavier Logan. Not too many passers.
We've got a caller.
And we do have a caller. So who we got on the line?
Hello?
We got somebody on the line, Steve? Hello? We can't hear them. Can you? We can't hear them in our ear. Go ahead though, if you can hear us. Hello? Can you hear us? Hello? Is that Lewis?
He can't hear
I don't
us.
think we can't hear Lewis, and Lewis can't hear us. We're going to try to fix that real quick, and Lewis is going to get back to it. I was telling Terry and them, they asked me if I was on the 1,000-yard club. Well, I didn't actually start at quarterback until about the fourth game, I think. There was a kid that played before, and he had honors, as you say, but it kind of outplayed him and replaced him. And we only threw the ball 5 or 6 times at that point. He was the running quarterback, and I threw it, so it didn't turn out to be – I didn't have a chance for the 1,000. I wish I did. I did win Athlete of the Year. I tried to get them to honor those guys. I thought it'd be better standing on the field next to Kevin Millwood and Darren Sanders and Philip Crosby than Jermaine Gamble and Deontay Davis, my former teammates. But yeah, I could have been standing with Kevin Millwood if they would honor us. But nope, didn't make the 1,000-yard club. And we're trying to get Lewis back on the phone.
But don't think Bobby Mantooth there. I know great young man, Todd Mantooth's brother. I've played ball with Todd Mantooth, and Bobby's come along. And Bobby, he does a lot of things for the Cherryville Optimist program over here of coaching kids. And every time I see an athlete that's been through school and still contributing to other kids when he's all done, fantastic. I love every bit of that.
All right, Lewis, are you there?
No.
There you are. Hey, Lewis.
Hey, I can't hear y'all.
We can hear you now.
All right, I hear you on the radio. Let's do that.
Okay.
You're talking about my boys there. I taught almost all those kids except Eric, and that is Eric Nichols, the coach. He graduated the year before I came to Bessemer.
Okay.
But the rest of those boys I taught, Harry and Philip Crosby. Crosby started for Tennessee Volunteers for 2 years and played on the national championship team. And then played 2 years in the pros.
Right. He played on that Tennessee team after Peyton Manning left.
But that's a good group. Whitlock had over 2,200 yards his senior year.
Now, who is the all-time leading rusher? Lewis, do you know?
I believe it's Whitlock.
Is it? That's what I was thinking too. I thought he had passed everybody.
It's either Whitlock or Harry Floyd, but I'm not sure. I think it's Whitlock.
Okay, and
because he was up close to
he had the Gaston County record on me
there for a while.
Yeah, he almost had the county record.
Do what?
Yeah, he almost had the county record there for a minute. I remember that too.
He did, and I think it's Whitlock.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Shane. But yeah, I had all those boys in class, and I'm gonna tell you something about Philip Crosby. That was one tough youngin'. He would go after you. His senior year, they played him on defense at linebacker, and his senior year, they had to hold him out of practice some because he is hurting our people.
The Chase coach would have caught him soft.
Running backs, and so they had to hold him up and make him slow down because he was. I'm telling you, he is a football player. He's the only person from Bessemer City to make the Shrine Bowl. He started in the Shrine Bowl. And, of course, he went to junior college, and then he started 2 years at Tennessee, 97 and 98, I think. He was blocking back in that I formation, that former run.
T. Martin was the quarterback for that championship team, not Peyton Manning.
Yes.
Well, tell me something, Lewis. Are you heading to Bessemer City?
Do what?
Are you going to Bessemer City?
I'm thinking serious about it. I've had some other things I've had to do, and haven't felt real well today, but I'm feeling a whole lot better. So I think maybe I might try to sneak over there after a while.
Well, all right, Lewis. Lewis will be joining us.
I'll keep you updated on what's going on. I'll tell you something else I want to say too while I'm on the air. The person who's getting this up is Brian Nichols.
Right.
Nichols is the defensive coach over there. He's a former student of mine also. But he's big. Terry, he's like you. He's big on stats, and he gets all these records and everything. And he's the push behind this because they honored all the 1,000-point scorers when they had basketball season.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say because
he's got that. He is the person behind it, and I just want to say that on the air that people know Brian's putting this together, and he does a superb job.
Brian does a lot for the school and the athletic departments altogether.
He does a lot for the school. He was also the junior high coach that won the county championship. And Kevin, your dad and I called that game. I never will forget that. It was a tie ball game, and Calvin had me go over the rules for sudden death, what was going to do in overtime. And I'll be darned if he didn't run a reverse and the kid slapped 26 yards for a touchdown and nobody touched him.
That's a good play call then too.
That was Brian was the coach. And I'm telling you, he does a pretty good job. He really does. You're right. He's dedicated to the school. Ain't no question about that.
Well, Lewis, thanks for calling us, and I hope you get to the game. And then Lewis will be joining us, of course, after the game tonight on the Marburger Autos post-game show. So later on tonight after the game.
As I always say, Kevin, good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise.
All right, Lewis, thank you very much, folks. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to get me and Terry gathered up here on KTCBroadcasting.com. You're listening to WCSL 1590 AM, WOHS 1390 AM, and WLON 1050 AM.
Since 1986, Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby has been serving families across Shelby and Cleveland County. And today, Wayne Witherspoon continues the tradition of bringing you the best insurance at the best possible price with names like the Hartford, Safeco, Progressive, National General Insurance, and Travelers. Drop by their office at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby and talk with one of their friendly hometown agents. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, your independent insurance agency since 1986. Your sports leader is Big O Country, 1390 AM WOHS in Shelby, 1590 AM WCSL, Cherryville, Gastonia, 1050 AM WLON Lincoln, and online at KTCBroadcasting.com.
Rounded up for this month at the Roundup store in Shelby. 3/4-inch cherry plywood, good on both sides for $59 a sheet. Good on one side, just $49 a sheet. The Roundup store has 1/4-inch hardboard paneling for $18 a sheet, and 3-tab white shingles are $45 a square. And their wood buildings are built to last. Make your dream kitchen a reality at the Roundup store, 1610 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Open 8:30 to 5:30 Monday through Friday, 8:30 till noon on Saturday. Your number one choice for drain service in Cleveland County is Drain Cleaners of Shelby. From slow to clogged drains, to sewer odors, to moving or installing a drain, or even adding a drain, see Drain Cleaners of Shelby with state-of-the-art inspection cameras, locating equipment, and high-pressure jetters. From residential to commercial, just call 1-800-440-CLOG for a free estimate. They'll make sure your drains are actually draining. That's Drain Cleaners of Shelby. Yes, Cleveland County, you do have a Train dealer. From Kings Mountain to Polkville, from Lawndale to Bellwood, from Falston to Earl, Roland Black Heating and Air will be there for you. They're only a phone call away at 704-865-1375. In minutes, a comfort specialist will be at your door for your heating or cooling needs. Yes, it's hard to stop a train. Again, call Roland Black Heating and Cooling at 704-865-1375. Your hometown Train dealer for over 36 years.
The 89th Annual Cleveland County Fair is set for September 26th through October 6th. And when you buy a ticket to this year's Cleveland County Fair, you could win a new car. Call the fair office for details at 704-487-0651. And check out the Grandstand Entertainment, including the Fall Karting Classic, Friday Night Thunder, 2 big demolition derbies, the ARMA Lawnmower Racing, the Front Wheel Drive Nationals, plus 2 big nights of monster trucks. For a complete listing of Grandstand events, visit ClevelandCountyFair.com. The 89th Annual Cleveland County Fair, September 26th through October 6th. Discount tickets available at Walgreens.
Cleveland County's complete fireplace and outdoor living headquarters is Future Energy Company, 130 West Graham Street in Uptown Shelby. They are the home of the Big Green Egg, America's favorite grill. Plus, you'll find gas logs, gas fireplaces, wood stoves, outdoor kitchens, and gas grills. And their services include dryer vent cleaning, gas line installation, and they are certified chimney sweeps. Visit the website at futureenergyco.com. Future Energy Company, 130 West Graham Street, Uptown Shelby. They have the fire you desire, from outdoor eating to indoor heating.
Blanton Cars is slashing down payments. We offer down payments as low as $500. We are the most experienced buy here, pay here dealer in Cleveland County. We have cars as new as 2010 models that we will finance in-house. We don't look at your past credit. Your job is your credit here. We have payment plans to fit your budget. Stop by today and let us put you in the car you deserve. Blanton Cars has 2 locations to serve you in Shelby. East Dixon Boulevard, across from Super 8 Motel, and West Dixon Boulevard, next to Meineke Mufflers.
And welcome back to KTC Broadcasting Studios. I'm Kevin Hastings along with Terry Reinhardt on the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show tonight. I'm subbing for Sam Davis. If you guys looking for Sam, had a little bout this week. He's in the hospital, and he's out and feeling better, but not good enough. He said if he comes in and looks at Terry all night, his stomach's going to turn, so he couldn't do it.
That's why he didn't come.
He said he just couldn't come tonight, and he's getting out of here. But no, Sam will be back next week and be all good. All right, Terry, let's get a rundown of the games this week. I mean, we got 7 byes. Real quick, North Caston, Ashbrook, Forest View, and the 4 Lincoln County schools have byes, and then we've got a total of 5 broadcasts and only 8 other games going on in our local conferences.
We do, and on our broadcast schedule, it's Crest at T.C. Roberson. Tonight, Kings Mountain makes the trip over to Burns. Highland Tech goes to Bessemer City. Chase on the road at Shelby, 46-0-1. Chase tries to come in and stop that streak. I'm pretty sure that will not happen. East Gaston goes to Cherryville tonight. Other games around the area, Maiden will make a trip up to South Caldwell. And again, just like I said, South Caldwell, they lost their number 1 rusher at the start of the year, and then they've lost another guy, their second rusher, this past week. He's probably out for a few games anyway. Vance makes the trip over to Hunter Huss. Community of Davison goes to Davison Day. Plan on Davison Day scoring about 70. RS Central goes to Drone tonight. Village Christian makes the trip over to Lake Norman. South Point goes up to AC Reynolds, with AC Reynolds without their leading rusher, who has been suspended for 4 games. So, again, that should help South Point. But, as Kevin says, it wouldn't make any difference anyway. Pine Lake goes to Ravenscroft, and East Burke makes the trip over to East Rutherford tonight in the games. In our standings, as we are looking at today, and the Southern Piedmont standings in the 1A, and this is over here with Cherryville's conference, Thomas Jefferson leads the way at 2-1, Bessemer City 1-3, Community School of Davison 1-3, Highland Tech 0-3, Pine Lake Prep 0-3, Cherryville 0-4. Highland Tech comes in with a 25-game losing streak. It is number 2 in the state of North Carolina. In the Southern District 7 standings in the 2A, Bunker Hill 4-0, West Lincoln 4-0, Maiden 3-0, East Lincoln, who lost last week to Forest View, fell to 3-1, Bandy's 2-2, Lincoln 2-2, Newton Conover 1-3, West Caldwell 1-3. In the Big South 2A, 3A standings, it's Lake Norman Charter leading the way at 4-0. followed right behind them by North Gaston 4-0, South Point 4-0, Forest View comes in 3-1, Ashbrook 2-2, Hunter Huss 1-3, East Gaston 0-3. And every one of these are non-conference, so our conference schedule will start up next week for real. In the South Mountain Athletic, or they call it the SMAC, 2A, 3A, their conference has already started. Burns is on top at 1-0, 4-0 overall. Crest comes in next at 1-0, at 2-1. Shelby 1-0 in the conference, 2-2 overall. East Rutherford 1-0, 1-3 overall. East Burke has not played a game. Their first one is tonight against East Rutherford. They are 0-3 on the season. Then Chase, Kings Mountain, RS Central, and Drone are all 0-1. In the Northwestern standings, and we cover this conference to take care of some people from up Caldwell County because Maiden's making that trip up there today. High Brighton comes in 4-0, Patton 4-0, Watauga 3-0, Freedom 3-1, South Caldwell 2-1, Hickory 2-2, St. Stephen's 0-3, Fred T. Ford 0-4. And in the North Piedmont standings, 3A, 4A, we cover this conference on account of North Lincoln is a member of this conference. South Iredell comes in 3-0, defending 2 AA champions from last year who have made the move up to 3A. Mooresville 3-1, North Iredell 3-1, Lake Norman 2-2, Alexander Central 1-2, North Lincoln 1-3, Statesville and West Iredell 0-3 on the year. So
right.
Those are our standings.
All right, Terry, you know what I found? The state AP polls.
Okay, and here's my what's up with this for this week.
All right, what's up with what?
Here's what I'm asking people. If you're Northern Guilford, you are ranked number 3.
Right.
You have won 34 straight games. I mean, you know.
And South Point's been beaten the first round how many years?
Well, that's all I'm going to say. And,
2 of the last 5 or something
yes.
like that, isn't it?
And
Northern Guilford, did you say 3-time state champion?
32-game winning streak.
2-time state champions.
3 times state champion.
Defending.
Got a 32-game winning streak. It's number 1 in the state of North Carolina.
How are they number 3?
And when they come out with this poll, they drop them all the way to number 3.
Hey, here's what's bad about it. They don't even have one vote.
Oh, I know. And Havelock, don't get me wrong, I'll go with Havelock. Havelock, a defending champion too. I mean, I'm with that. But South Point at number 2, Northern Guilford at number 3, Burns at number 4. I'm sorry. When Independence won all them games in a row, they stayed number 1 until they got beat. And don't get me wrong, I know year after year it's a different squad. But when you got a 32-game winning streak, why are you number 3 in the poll?
You ain't been beat yet. How are you going? I don't care. These coaches and people that vote on this haven't seen these teams. They don't know. They probably hadn't even seen a football game, much less seen these teams play. As far as especially these Western teams, I'm sure they haven't made the trip up here to see South Point and Burns and everyone else. But I don't know about. But yeah, Northern Guilford got a big gripe with that. I've got a played football with one of their assistant coaches at Cherryville. And he's probably not happy about it too. Maybe they penalize them. Maybe because they're 3-0. But the thing about it is, Havelock's got every single first place vote.
They do, and they are. Now, don't get me wrong. Havelock is the number 2 team with the most wins at 18 games. They're number 2 in the state, but they are ranked ahead of Northern Guilford.
Still ain't won the state championship the last 2 years, have they?
No.
I'm only coming up here, Terry. With it. I pulled up that poll. It only showed me 4A and 3A. I was trying to find out as far as where East Lincoln fell.
Well, yeah, I will say something about East Lincoln. Now, they were number 1 in the 2A poll, know, and then when they lost, they fell. And I understand that.
Even though they got beat by the 3A team.
They did. But, I mean, it all comes down to what you're doing. And a lot of people are going to sit back and say, well, it's what you're doing this year.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with you with that. But when Independence was winning year after year after year, you never saw Independence drop below a 1. They was always number 1 starting every year. So.
And they were nationally ranked, too, at some point,
yes.
weren't they? Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So, good games tonight coming up. AP poll. I'm trying to find 1A and 2A. I'm not seeing it all. Did have 3A. Burns was 4. South Point was 2. So, those 2 teams not playing this year. Have been playing the last few years against each other, but not playing this year. South Point's taking on Shelby and I think Crest both this year, and not Burns.
Oh, yeah.
So we don't get to see that matchup until maybe the playoffs.
So that's my what's up with this for this week. And next thing we're going to touch on is the class act. And my class act this week is going to go out to all of the band members. For every student that is in band, y'all put up just as much time on that field and practicing every week. Way back into the summer, y'all start just like the football players do. And my hands are off. My hat is off to every one of you for a class act for the band, because they perform every week at the games, and then they go to what they call it, the little
band
system,
competition.
band competitions, yes, that they go to, and and it's a lot that goes into that, because again, I know my daughter, she was a color guard,
right.
And there's a lot of effort that goes into that, and perfection is what they're after.
My sister played the clarinet and then went into color guard and everything. Andre was actually in the band a little bit too. One of the funniest things or best events I've ever been to is we went to a band competition over, and my uncle used to do band competitions. He taught at Manio and North Gaston back in the 80s. But we went to a competition over. I think it was where Jameson played, Providence. Play over at Providence. And we're just sitting over in the corner watching the band competition. As a little old man sat down in front of us. Nobody sat with him. Nobody sat near him. And it didn't matter who was playing, Terry. It didn't matter if it was Providence out there, Cherryville, East Lincoln. It just didn't matter. Every 3 to 5 minutes, he would just go, "Bulldogs!" That's all he said all night. Didn't say hello to anybody. Didn't talk. He just every 3 to 5 minutes, he'd just yell, "Bulldogs!" Not "Go Bulldogs" or anything like that. Just Bulldogs. He was wearing a Butler shirt, so he was there for the Butler Bulldogs.
The little puppies.
I will never, ever forget that. That was just so funny. Daddy will tell you that. Ask him about that. Little old man just sitting there, just Bulldogs.
But I will give them a lot of credit, because I have been to some of them band competitions, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, when I sat there and I thought we had done good, forget it. We did wrong. We didn't get nothing. But when I think we were terrible, they would come out with a first, and I never did understand any of that, of how they graded it. That's
why I don't watch college football, I don't watch boxing, and I don't watch figure skating, because after the game's over, they get around and vote on who won, and we don't know who won.
Well, I don't think we're going to have to go too far as boxing. And that'll be a good thing for Mayweather fans to
I always never thought,
understand.
if you're going to have a boxing match, instead of voting on it, they had this controversy with this judge. Instead of voting on who wins, just hit each other till somebody knocks somebody out. Floyd Mayweather wouldn't be undefeated if they did that. I'll tell you that right now, because he don't punch hard enough to do that. That'd be in the 27th round, and somebody's going to they're going to get tired of Floyd slapping him around a little bit. Somebody's going to knock him out if they ever catch him. That's the problem. You can't hit what you can't see. Muhammad Ali,
that's right.
He'd talk like that too. If you can't hit him, you can't hurt him. But yeah, that's kind of why I hate these things where you vote to see who wins, because you never know who's. I mean, you hate to say it, been paid under the table, or they have other interests.
Yes. I would hate to say any of that.
It's awful to think about, but this day and age, you can't.
And
that judge in that Mayweather fight, that was horrible. She had even?
Yes, even. But I have seen bands that I thought had done well, and they would win nothing. So, I'm never going to be a judge for any of those. But again, the bands, you are my class act of the week.
Congratulations, bands, and thanks you guys for everything you do. All right, we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to get a drink of water and head down the hall. We're going to get organized. Coming up 40 minutes away from the stadium pregame shows. Crest, folks, you Crest fans, 10 minutes away from their stadium pregame show. Andy Foster and Robbie Roop providing you that tonight. All right, we'll be back in a few minutes on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Since 1986, Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby has been serving families across Shelby and Cleveland County. And today, Wayne Witherspoon continues the tradition of bringing you the best insurance at the best possible price with names like the Hartford, Safeco, Progressive, National General Insurance, and Travelers. Drop by their office at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby and talk with one of their friendly hometown agents. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, your independent insurance agency since 1986.
Hey, you.
This is your carpet speaking. Hello. Hey, I take a real beating from you and your family every day. The kids track mud all over me. The dog leaves a deposit here and there. The cat leaves fur balls. You spill hot coffee on me. And what about those potato chips and dip from the big game? Get me out of here. Bring somebody new in here.
For new carpet and flooring for your home, see Keys Carpet and Floor Covering, 1162 East Marion Street in Shelby. It'll make life easier on your old carpet.
Norris Merchandise's beautiful furniture with bedroom, living room, and dining room furniture by the famous brands. Norris Merchandise's hardware, everything from nuts and bolts to lawnmower blades. Norris Merchandise's Carhartt clothing, featuring Carhartt workwear, casual wear, and rugged outdoor wear. And Norris Merchandise is an archery shop with a complete line of archery equipment and accessories. That's Norris Merchandise, 2011 South Lafayette Street, Shelby, online at norrismerchandise.com or on Facebook.
Where are you eating breakfast today? Have you tried the Hub Cafe located inside Medical Arts Pharmacy? The Hub opens at 7 a.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. on Saturday, serving an old-fashioned country breakfast at affordable prices. You'll find homemade biscuits, bacon, country sausage, country ham, liver mush, eggs, omelets, all cooked to order on the grill. Call 487-0511 or come on into the Hub Cafe for a delicious country breakfast located inside Medical Arts Pharmacy, 108 Grover Street, Shelby.
The Round Man, Okie Knipe, invites you into Okie's Tire and Service Center for all your tire and auto service needs. Okie gives you the best value in tires, both new and used tires, and they'll mount and balance your tires free. Come into Okie's Service Center for all your service needs, including radiator flush, brakes, tune-ups, oil changes, and state inspections. Serving Cleveland County since 1978. That's right, over 35 years. Okie's Tire and Service Center, 800 West Warren Street in Shelby.
S&M Sports Shop is now your dealer for Under Armour sports apparel in Cleveland County. Come by and see the selection of Under Armour shirts, shorts, shoes, socks, and sunglasses. The team at S&M, Mike, Suzanne, Luke, Shannon, Dale, Ken, Darren, Dennis, and Charlie, is now your team outfitter for all local schools and whatever sport you play. They have leather jackets for all local high schools. Plus, S&M is your headquarters for Oakley Sunglasses. For all your athletic needs, go to S&M Sports Shop, located at 707 South Lafayette Street in Shelby. When accidents happen, it's reassuring to know that quick expert care is nearby. Carolina's Healthcare Urgent Care Shelby is now open and is staffed with experienced physicians, mid-level providers, nurses, and support personnel equipped with on-site laboratory and x-ray services. So keep our new location and contact information close by for immediate access to the region's preferred healthcare and largest physicians network. Carolina's Healthcare Urgent Care, 1010 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby.
Your sports leader is Big O Country, 1390 AM WHS in Shelby, 1590 AM WCSL, Cherryville, Gastonia, 1050 AM WLON Lincoln, and online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
And good evening and welcome back to the Witherspoon Insurance pregame prep football show here with Terry Reinhardt. I'm Kevin Hastings along in tonight for Sam Davis, and we got some matchups and all kinds of things coming up here. Crest in about 5 minutes or so. You can watch the pregame show from there, guys. Folks, the Crest game tonight will not, I repeat, will not have video. TC Robertson and the Asheville schools do not allow video to their games, so we will not have video for that, but you can listen to it, and their pregame stadium pregame show begins at 6:30. On the docket tonight for us on the radio, you can listen to that Crest TC Robertson game on the internet, like I said. Also on the radio, East Gaston visits the Cherryville Ironmen, and that game will be on WLON 1050 AM and WCSL 1590 AM. That game is replacing Maiden at South Caldwell, folks. Maiden at South Caldwell. They have a couple of radio stations up there already and wouldn't allow us to come up there, so we will not be having that game for you tonight. David Keever and Rick Mitchum have the night off, and we'll have East Gaston Cherryville because, Terry, we can't do a Lincoln County game of the week when there ain't no Lincoln County teams playing.
Everybody's getting prepared for next week.
They're getting ready for next week as the SD7 kicks off really hardcore next week. You can watch 3 games tonight on ktcbroadcasting.com. we're predicting the most not me. I'm predicting the most competitive. Highland at Bedford City. Terry says that's going to be the biggest blowout. I say Burns at Kings Mountain will be the biggest blowout. You can watch that on ktcbroadcasting.com. And you can also watch Chase and Shelby, which has the potential to be the best game and the potential to be the biggest blowout, depending on how Chase rebounds from last week's blowout against the Burns Bulldogs, falling 48-9 after talking a lot of smack, saying he's going to go 4-0 in the conference. And that didn't work out.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you on stuff like that, Kevin. If you're going to come out and he's got to be a good coach because he's won 2 good games against a Newton Conover team and a Bandy's.
Right.
Didn't
expect either one of those. Really.
No, I did not. But as a coach, and I'll never tell the man how to run his system or anything, but I'm never going to go out and tell that we're going to compete with another Cleveland County foes and give them an opportunity to put this up on a board, because you
wouldn't say it where anybody heard you.
Exactly.
Right?
I mean, you're asking for teams to prepare for you, and then as they are defeating you, if they are, and then they're going to score another one and another one and another one just to try to prove a point.
Might be a few extra minutes before the backups come in the game.
Yes, and I hate to say it, but that's how it works.
Well, it is. Yeah, you're right, and I think that as far as the Burns game and that, it just got a little too personal with the talking about the linebackers, and I think that you don't talk about. And Burns' defense is the one part. If he had come out and said maybe the wide receivers are a little bit lacking, they don't throw it as well as they did with Little John. You can understand some of that. Montgomery is way, 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 way faster than Brandon Littlejohn ever was, but Brandon Littlejohn could throw the ball a little bit better. I'm telling you that from my perspective. I was the play-by-play guy for both of them the last 2 years, and Brandon Littlejohn could throw the ball. His team, and the reason they lost in the playoffs, I felt, and we felt all year, their Achilles heel was the receivers. Brandon would go through a game, he would go 15 for 25. Well, Terry, 5 or 8 of those where he hit them right in the hands. I mean, they ran the little comebackers, the hitch routes. It just hit them in the hands after the hands after the hands. And I've never seen so many drop balls. And Burn it just killed them in the playoffs that year. And they ran into North Guilford, and your Northern Guilford team won the state championship. So that tells you, once you get to that level, the Final Four, the Final 8, you better have all your P's and Q's and I's and T's crossed and dotted, or something, or just a small thing like that. Not catching the ball will come back to haunt you.
It will. But other games from around our area, again, will be touching base with Maiden and South Caldwell. Vance makes that trip over to Hunter Huss. Community School of Davison makes the trip to Davison Day. RS Central goes to Drone.
Is that going to be the big blowout? Is that Davison Day? Didn't you say?
Yeah, Davison Day. Will Greer.
70-6 right there.
That's the guy that's Florida commit, and
they're going to name their score tonight, ain't they?
He's proven it this year. But Village Christian goes to Lake Norman. South Point goes up to AC Reynolds. Pine Lake goes to Ravenscroft. And East Berks at East Rutherford tonight. And there's a game. I mean, East Rutherford comes in 1-3. This is a team that is much better than a 1-3 record, especially with 2 1-point losses that they have out of their 3.
And Ashbrook's a really good 2-2 team, too.
Oh, Ashbrook's proven me totally wrong, because they're a lot better. And the Big South, just like we've mentioned before, is coming down. You don't want to put North Gaston in at the top. They're 4-0. But when you speak of Forest View, South Point, and Ashbrook, those are the teams that you're gunning for. And South Point is number 1, but them other 2 teams are going to be able to compete, I think. And especially the way that Shelby competed with the pass.
Right.
Look out for Forest View on that end.
Forest View, I think they'll give South Point a run. And it's all going to come. The whole thing with South Point, and in Shelby's case as well, it's discipline because of that. Because South Point does the triple option so well, is that linebacker and that defensive end have to be disciplined every single play. And you can't get pro players to be disciplined like that, much less high school kids, because they're going to want to make a big play or take the wrong angle. Something's going to happen, and when that does, that's when South Point gets that big, up the middle. Like, how can we not stop the fullback dive? Well, if your linebacker don't hit the fullback every single play, and it gets really old in there, Terry, running up against the fullback every play, especially if you don't have the ball.
You're right.
I mean, you get tired of tackling somebody without the ball. So, I mean, every play, if you don't you got to be so disciplined with that when you got a good offensive line and can run that triple option. And that's why the triple option has always been so successful in high school and college, is because just the preparation, the discipline to stop it. It takes that off, and then you get up to the NFL, and you don't want to put a $15 million quarterback running the option. So that changes once you get up to that level. But it's hard to stay disciplined on defense for that long of a game.
Well, I know I've had people come up and ask me. They said, "Well, a lot of times, Terry, you don't mention certain players," and I do to a certain extent. Depends on who the player is. But when I coached, I always wanted a team that was well balanced. It's a whole team effort. I mean, that's like a running back, and I mentioned stuff like take West Lincoln, Daniel Davila. Everybody thinks, well, we got to stop him. He's our leading rusher. Well, number one, he don't get all them yards if that offensive line is not doing their job.
Right.
And I've always sat back and I'm like, it's a team effort. Everything that happens, a quarterback, he's got to have a receiver that can catch. What I mentioned ago, you're saying a pass that's in their hands, but they drop it. Well, he don't get his production on his end if that receiver does not catch it.
No, you can't throw a touchdown if they can't catch it.
No, that's what I'm saying. And I have always been a guy, when I mention teams, I always try to take a team whole aspect, because it's every one of them guys. All 11 of them guys on defense against 11 guys on offense. It takes every one of their guys to do their job for you to win.
That's what makes the game of football so great, and why it is a team sport and America's game now. And high school football is America's game now.
I'm gonna mention something as you mentioned stuff like that. I had an individual come to me, and he said soccer was football. And then if you go look at it, it brings it up. Anybody can pull it up on the internet,
the
whatever.
Rest of the world
it
calls
says Canada and the United States are the only people that call it soccer.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah, everybody else calls it football.
I went to England for a summer school one year in college, and it's just weird. What's so weird about it is when they call them, they're actually called football players too, instead of soccer players. And you see them talking about some guy in a little short shorts and a tight T-shirt on the billboard, and you're like, "Hey, look at the football player." You think he's an underwear model, and not a football player.
But now, don't get me wrong; they do come out with some of the best field goal kickers you've ever seen in your life.
Oh, absolutely.
But anyway, as we go on, we're going to give our players of the week from last week. And Sam, I'm going to go with what you went with. Since you're not here, I'm going to take your three, and that's the three we're going to go with. In Gaston County last week, Logan Bradley from Forest View, 29 out of 38 with one interception, 364 yards, 5 touchdowns in a game against East Lincoln. Our Lincoln guy is Chaz Surratt, who went against Forest View and them last week, but he had 398 total yards of his own. Yeah, and in Cleveland County,
turnovers killed him though.
Oh, it did. Tyler Ruff of Burns, 171 total yards and 3 touchdowns. So again,
you got to give Cedarius Byers an honorable mention on that one,
we
Terry.
Will.
Y'all got to give the defense and linemen some love. Cedarius Byers carried 5 people into the end zone.
But again,
Tyler Ruff might have fumbled 3 times.
There you go.
But seriously, Ruff has 6 fumbles on the year already. He's had a problem holding on to the ball. But last year he ran for over 1,000 yards, and everybody, Jalen Hill has been running the ball so well that they want to get Hill the ball because he runs it with such authority. And Tyler's been in the doghouse a little bit here and there with the fumble issues, but 171 and 3 touchdowns. Had a great game last week.
He did. And again, our Gaston County, Logan Bradley from Forest View, Lincoln and Chaz Surratt from East Lincoln, and Cleveland County, Tyler Ruff from Burns.
We won't have a Lincoln County player of the week next week. This week, players to watch. We can go down the list here. Look for tonight Burns in that matchup tonight. Chris Montgomery, he's going to be all over the field tonight, and I would look for that. But the defense of Burns, it's kind of hard to even mention the offense, without mentioning the defense, because the defense really, like with the Little John thing, dropping the balls and turnovers. If the defense will be there, they're not going to have a problem with their defense. They're going to have a problem if they do putting the points on the board and not turning the ball over. Like I said, with Chris maybe throwing interceptions or Tylen Ruff holding on to the ball, that's going to be Burns' Achilles heel is the turnover. So when they get in a big turnover game, they're beatable.
Well, a couple weeks ago we talked to Coach Beam, and he says, we're giving up a lot between the 20 and the 20, but when you get down inside the 20, everything tightens up.
Oh, yeah.
And it does.
That's classic Tampa Bay defense.
Exactly. But now my whole deal, if they get that Burns defense to play like they did last week, and I think that was total team effort for the whole game, and it went from the 0 to the 0.
I'm pretty sure the linebackers were motivated last week after the comments. from Chase.
Oh, yes.
Looking around the area real quick, Terry talking about his players of the week. We don't have Cleveland County stats, but I can give you the leaders in Gaston and Lincoln County leaders. Leading rusher in Gaston County right now, Bishop Ford, 541 yards, averaging 135 a game. Brooks for South Point is second, and Carry-On Moore third in the county in rushing with 325, and it doesn't have West Lincoln stats on there. How many does Davila have right now?
No, they'd be in the Southern Peter. You're looking at the Big South, Orlando.
I thought I was looking. Oh, it is spread up by conferences. Okay, that's my fault. So that we do have them on there. So let's scroll down here and see Davila.
Leading the way.
Davila with 576. He is the leading rusher. You know who's second? Chaz Surratt, quarterback for East Lincoln. Surratt, the dual threat, and he's definitely a dual threat, Terry. He's got 500 yards rushing and 764 passing, and he's got about he's close to 75% on his completion percentage. Really, he's a little bit less than that, right at 65-70. So he's got a really good completion percentage and 191 yards and 9 passing touchdowns to go along with that 507 yards rushing. So great playing there from Surratt this year, and it has been all him.
It has a lot. But as far as the rest of them, total offense, it's Kings Mountain leading the way in the Big South.
Big South total offense per game, Kings Mountain. That's not based on. That's just team totals that people have turned in, Terry. That's not because there's Highland Tech in there, and Kings Mountain, and Clover, and Cherryville. So not everybody turned in their team stats, but.
Yeah, every coach, when you get through, if you've got that totals, please send it in to Phil, because Phil and them do a great job of keeping up with that stuff.
All right, phone numbers, Terry. Let's take some phone calls, folks. Call in. We're gonna take a quick break here in a minute, but folks, we only got 20 minutes left in the show. We've got 5 great games on our sister networks, plus 8 other good games in the area. So, Terry, let's give our phone numbers out, folks. Feel free to give us a call. Coaches, players, fans, anybody who wants to give us a call and talk to us, we'll feel free to give you the time on the air. So, Terry, what we got here?
All right, Cleveland County, 704-482-1390. Gaston County, 704-435-3297. Lincoln County, 704-735-8071.
All right, guys, you can call us on there, and you can also tweet us on Twitter, just hashtag what's up, and we'll see it. All right, folks, we'll be right back in a few minutes. You're listening to Big O Country Radio and KTCBroadcasting.com.
Since 1986, Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby has been serving families across Shelby and Cleveland County. And today, Wayne Witherspoon continues the tradition of bringing you the best insurance at the best possible price with names like The Hartford, Safeco, Progressive, National General Insurance, and Travelers. Drop by their office at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby and talk with one of their friendly hometown agents. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, your independent insurance agency since 1986.
Shelby Savings Bank.
It's just better here.
With local decisions,
better.
Flexibility,
better.
And knowing how to treat people.
It's just better. Better.
It's just better here. We're here to help our neighbors do better.
It's just better here.
With our best deal mortgage guarantee.
It's just better. Better. Better.
Better here. Great products.
It's just better here.
And 2 convenient locations.
It's just
better here. Now more than ever, Shelby Savings Bank. It's just better here. Member FDIC.
We all hear about how good the barbecue is in Lexington, Greensboro, and in eastern North Carolina. But here in Cleveland County, we all know that the best barbecue is here. At Alston Bridges Barbecue, Kent and Linda Bridges and their family make sure the staple of their restaurant is the best barbecue. Your choice, pork, beef, or chicken, plus delicious sides, such as slaw, beans, fries, and hush puppies. The best since Alston and Mabel opened in 1955. Alston Bridges Barbecue, 620 Grover Street, right here in Shelby.
It's the grand opening of the all-new Gastonia Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We have doubled our inventory, and during our summer clearance event, the savings have never been better. Plus, every new vehicle comes with tires for life, car washes for life, and loaners for life. Gastonia Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is now open 7 days a week for your convenience and 24 hours a day online at GastoniaDodge.com. Experience the Gastonia guarantee today at Gastonia Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Since 1900, the Stamey Funeral Home in Fallston has been serving the families of our area with the finest in funeral service. In 1998, the Tysinger family began to serve the families of the Cherryville community, and today are a proud member of that community, providing services with dignity and respect. Caring for your family like our own, that's their slogan. Come talk with manager Pete Kraft about the services they provide at the Stamey Cherryville Funeral Home, 405 North Dixie Street in Cherryville.
Today's high school football broadcast is being brought to you in part by your local Jack in the Box. Visit your nearest Jack in the Box anytime, 24 hours a day. The dining room is open till midnight, Sunday through Thursday, and 24 hours on Friday and Saturday. And of course, the drive-thru is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, it's Jack in the Box, 3618 East Franklin Boulevard in Gastonia, 455 Earl Road in Shelby, and 102 College View Road in Dallas.
Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Nissan. Those are the powerhouse of vehicles you'll find at Marburger in Shelby. Plus quality pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. And of course, a service department that is second to no one. So when you're in need of another vehicle, see the friendly staff at Marburger. Marburger, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Nissan. 1310 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Proud supporters of our local school athletic teams.
Your sports leader is Big O Country, 1390 AM WHS in Shelby, 1590 AM WCSL, Cherryville, Gastonia, 1050 AM WLON Lincoln, and online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
And welcome back to KTC Broadcasting and Big O Country Radio. Kevin Hastings along here, Terry Reinhardt. We're talking a little Dallas Cowboys right now, America's team. And if you don't like America, you can get out. Ain't that right, Steve Roberts? In there wearing his Duke hat. That is definitely not American, Steve. That is not American.
You get around Coach K, he'll have a lot of people voting for him.
I was telling Terry about my article in the paper this week. Don't forget to check out the What's Up Shopper every week. For the mine is the NFL Review and NFL Power Poll Pick'em, and you guys can check that out. I have the Seattle Seahawks as the number one team in the NFL right now, with the Denver Broncos a very, very close second. But when you beat San Francisco the way you did, I got to kind of put them in number one, Terry. And then Terry, the team me and him are always concerned about, Dallas Cowboys. I dropped them a little bit from last week after the loss, but I got them at 10th right now, as they're still in first place in the NFC East. That ain't saying
that's strange,
much. That's
not
not saying much this year, is it?
That is very strange.
Could be in first with a 1-2 record after this week. That's pretty bad. But check it out this week. I make I think a semi-convincing case on why Tony Romo is the best quarterback the Dallas Cowboys have ever had.
Kevin, I've been trying to tell people that forever.
I know. I've been trying to tell them, but put out a lot of stats, a lot of talk here and there. Made some sense. Some of you will say I'm not making sense. I've been drinking on the side while I'm writing and other comments stuff. That's okay. It's okay. Everybody's got an opinion, like Terry said, and ours is that Romo is nasty. So if you don't like it, Cowboys fans, I know some Cowboys fans that don't even watch anymore, Terry, because they hate Romo so much. Wow. But then they check the score the next morning on ESPN.
I have never known a quarterback that I have ever seen, and don't get me wrong, I put Romo up there with anybody. Why does one guy have so much bad luck? There's no way I can answer that. You know, but if you go by stats, and that's what anything that identifies a guy is that. But he's one of the best of all time.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Dallas
absolutely.
has ever had.
Number 5 all-time completion percentage. Six all-time completion percentage. Number 5 all-time quarterback rating. Number 1 all-time NFL quarterback in NFL history, fourth quarter rating. He's 2 come from behind wins shy of Troy Aikman, and Aikman played twice as many years as Romo's played this year so far. So only 2. He's got 19 come from behind wins. Troy Aikman only had 21 in his career.
Man.
So think about that, Terry. All kinds of stats. Just check it out this week. Your minds may be blown by some of the stats that I put out there, and try to make the case for Romo. But me and Terry, that's our boy. But that we can talk about that all day. I'm sure David and them will have some snide things to say tomorrow morning on Sports Talk.
They only got one thing to say to us. How many playoff wins does he have?
That's what they say. And then I always make the case. And I made the case here. Troy and Roger played with 11 Hall of Famers. Tony Romo has not in any way, shape, or form. He's played with one. He's played with 2, maybe. Witten and Ware. They should both make it.
They should,
and so should Romo. But those teams, both of those had great defenses, great lines, and great running backs. So you can't say that about Romo's teams.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that Dallas would have made the trade to get Trent Richardson.
I know. We'll give up
a number
first
1.
round. Yeah, absolutely.
I would have done
the way
that.
The way our America's team. I'm sorry, that's what I'm saying. The way they've been running the ball, and that's been Romo's problem the whole time, is that Jason Garrett has always been there. And Jason Garrett has always called 60 to 70% passes. So you can say about the team, and while they don't run the clock out, I think they had two losses last year, Terry. And I went back and counted. If they would have just kneed the ball 4 times instead of running some stupid pass out or little thing to Witten or something, just kneed. They could have took 3 knees and punted and won the game instead of trying to actually get the first down and throwing the ball and stuff. Because there was 2 games they lost because of that. And one of them was and then you count the Des Bryant game where he was out of bounds by a pinky.
Yes.
His pinky was the first thing that touched, Terry. Oh, my goodness. He's out of bounds. Kick him out of the league. Kick him out. If you can't get your pinky in, get out of the league. Isn't that nuts?
It is. Again, tonight, don't forget our games on Crest at T.C. Roberson, Kings Mountain at Burns, Highland Tech at Bessemer City, Chase goes to Shelby, East Gaston at Cherryville. Other scores we'll be giving you will be Maiden at South Caldwell, Vance at Hunter Huss, Community School of Davison at Davison Day, R.S. Central at Drone, Village Christian at Lake Norman, South Point at AC Reynolds, Pine Lake at Ravenscroft, and East Burke at East Rutherford. And I want to mention one other thing, Kevin, while we're on here. This past week, Damian James, a 16-year-old junior out of Buffalo, New York, had a helmet-to-helmet collision with another guy this past week and passed away. Every year we get into this and we keep trying to make these helmets safer, players safer, everything we do. But again, this week, a young man, a junior, Damian James, passed away up there in Buffalo, New York.
That was helmet related, not heat.
Yes, no,
heat
it was
or anything.
Helmet to helmet collision with another young man.
The biggest problem as far as the helmets go, guys, is ducking your head, and that's always you're taught from Paul Pointer up. If you can't hit them with your face mask, you don't need to hit them with your head at all. You know, you face mask to face mask, face to face. If you can't see their face, don't hit them. As soon as you put that head down, I've had stingers where I've got knocked down and I thought I was paralyzed for a second. I mean, my whole body went numb. And as soon as I did it, I knew what I did, Terry. I knew my head dropped.
Yeah.
And that's the most dangerous thing is you got to keep your head up. Don't worry about the big hit. We're not going to be on Sports Center. We're not going to be on, you can be on our highlight show afterwards, but we're not going to show the big hits. We're going to show the touchdowns and the celebrations and anything else we show. But it's all about keeping that head up. And maybe one day we'll come up with a better helmet, maybe a soft helmet or a Nerf helmet or, just something to wear. It does its job. Its job is to keep your head from exploding, and keep your in the face mask is to keep your nose from exploding. They used to not play with face masks and the old leather heads and leather helmets, and it may end up going back to that someday if they can figure out a way to protect the face with that. So I've always thought like a Nerf helmet, like a motorcycle helmet, but made of Nerf would do something.
And the more we keep doing it, it's even in NASCAR, everything that we do, football, etc. We're trying to make it safer,
right?
And I think we're making progressions to do that. But when you see a young man pass away at a young age,
very sad story.
I mean, hey, I don't know what else to say.
Well, your head's not going to be pounding on the concrete. So I've always understood or had an idea about the softer helmets that if you don't have a hard, I mean, you have that on your head. That's a weapon. That's all it is. And if you don't hit somebody with that weapon, they're going to hit you with that weapon.
Exactly.
And it does not feel good at all. So
See,
that's where you get the helmet.
Yeah, there's where my problem comes in, because they keep telling your defensive guys you got to tackle them with your head up.
Right.
Or they telling your offensive running back, well, you've got to go through, don't duck yours.
The running back ducking his head, that's hard not to do. You're protecting the ball.
Exactly. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm the first man. Defense is defense, and you cannot take away the game.
Right.
Because back in the older days, these guys played with leather helmets.
If you had a soft helmet, would you duck your head to hit somebody? No.
No. That's what I'm
it's
saying.
Going to hurt.
Yes.
You'd probably people play backyard football and tackle every day.
Yes, sure
every
do.
day. And
With
they don't have
no
helmets. They don't have helmets. And there's no incentive because you're not going to go. I've played against kids that I wish we had pads on because they ran so hard and we didn't have nothing to protect us. But if you had something, you wouldn't just stick your head in there if you knew there's a possibility to get hurt. I mean, these things make the kids feel like, or the players feel like gladiators and they're invincible and stuff, and that's really what they are. They're made to just bounce off each other.
And you've been in the same situation, Kevin, that this has happened, and it will take you 2 or 3 plays after one tackle for you to get back into the game.
I've asked people, how many concussions did you have in high school? And some will say none, or some will say some, and I'm like, come on now. I know I had a lot. I mean, you just carrying the ball and holding the ball and the way people hit and the rules when we play. I mean, it was only 10 years ago, folks. The rules are different. DBs, we could do whatever we wanted to. My favorite rule as a DB, and I loved playing defensive back, is that, and what made it fair for the defensive backs is that I could do whatever I wanted to that receiver until the ball was in the air. And when they changed that rule to, the Peyton Manning rules when they were playing, getting beat by the Patriots, when the NFL started that no touching the wide receivers, these offensive schemes and the spread offense, all this other stuff exploded. The spread fields, the full contact. Because if you can't hit the receiver to the ball, now they're saying they can't even hit a receiver if he's in the air and defenseless.
Yes.
I mean, that's the best time to hit a receiver, to make him drop it. Don't leave your feet if you don't want to get hit. That was always a football thing that they told the receivers. But now they can't touch them when they run out there. They can't even hit them when they get in the air. I mean, what do you do as a defender, Terry?
Yeah,
what do you do?
and see, my whole problem is nowadays you going into the NFL, and now people are getting punished $42,000 up to $100,000.
I got the solution for that. Instead of fining them, stay with me here, folks. Instead of fining them, put them in a penalty box like hockey. You get a 15-yard penalty. You come off the field for 5 minutes. You don't have to lose a player. You can substitute in. But what if there was an NFL or a football penalty box? All personal fouls. They would stop doing it because they don't want to come off the field. The 40,000 or the 20,000, they're not thinking about that when they're hitting somebody. But if that receiver's coming over the line, I'm thinking, well, it's just like a technical foul in basketball. I better not do this, or I don't want to get thrown out or have to sit down for a while. Is that if we had a penalty box, you could just set them to the side. But we're getting close to the end of the show, Terry. We've had a good time tonight. It's almost football. Real quick, last few things. Chris T.C. Roberson, audio only, ktcbroadcasting.com. East Gaston at Cherville, audio only, WCSL 1590 AM, WCSL1590am.com. You can listen on ktcbroadcasting.com. Then you can watch Highland Tech at Bessemer City, watch Chase at Shelby, and watch Kings Mountain at Burns on ktcbroadcasting.com. And if you got smartphones, tablets, you're out at the games, you're on the road, download the Ustream app, Terry. That's the letter U and the word stream. Download the Ustream app, search which game you're looking for, and you can watch on your phone right in the car.
I'm amazed with that.
You
That's
can watch
me.
high school football on your phone. All right, folks, we're going to take a break. We'll be back. We're not going to be back. Football starts in 5 minutes, about 5 minutes from the pregame shows at the fields. Tune in on ktcbroadcasting.com. Excuse me. Check all that out. Football tonight. Me and Terry will be here all night collecting scores. Follow us on Twitter at KTC Broadcasting and at What's Up Shopper for all the local scores. Thank you, Terry, and I hope I didn't do too bad in place of Sam tonight.
You did well. As long as I got men that can talk, I'm all right.
All right, folks. We'll be back next week with Sam Davis and Terry Reinhardt. I'm Kevin Hastings. Let's watch some high school football.
Since 1986,
Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby has been serving families across Shelby and Cleveland County. And today, Wayne Witherspoon continues the tradition of bringing you the best insurance at the best possible price with names like the Hartford, Safeco, Progressive, National General Insurance, and Travelers. Drop by their office at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby and talk with one of their friendly hometown agents. Witherspoon Insurance Agency, your independent insurance agency since 1986.